Well, at least one race I did get right. My daughter, Sarah, did win in the landslide to become the first ever woman to be governor of Arkansas. Kind of happy about that. It also marks the first time ever in the country when a father-daughter both served a state as governor. I'm very proud of her, and quite frankly, I believe, as I've said to this audience and many people, she will satisfy her supporters, and she will surprise those who didn't vote for her. The bums. Just kidding. You know, I thought I was a pretty effective governor, but I quite frankly hope that she's even better. And she probably will be. But I got to tell you, when I'm wrong, I try to admit it. And I was wrong about my view that there would be a huge red tsunami in the 2022 elections. It was evident to me that since 70% of the American people thought we were on the wrong track, since most American families have been devastated by the highest inflation rate in 42 years, with gasoline costs almost double from when Joe Biden took office, and with the cost of groceries skyrocketing, I said, hey, voters are just going to say, enough of this. And I also thought that the dramatic increase in violent crimes, illegal border crossings, over 5 million since Joe Biden took office, as well as the deep decline of the value of people's pension funds due to the downward spiral of the stock market, I said, man, voters will figure it's time for new and hopefully better ideas. And with the Democrats pushing for wacko science that results in the mutilation and chemical castration of children, all in the name of transgender care, and pushing abortion of an unborn baby right up until the very moment of birth. I mean, I really believe that even longtime Democrats who aren't crazy would decide that their party had embraced too many policies that were detrimental to their lives and families, and they'd vote accordingly. Well, clearly, I was wrong. Now, I think Republicans will likely barely control the House, and they probably will end up with a tiny majority in the Senate. But what was expected as a red wave became more of a pink trickle at best. Look, I've realized that most Americans get their news from social media and the mainstream media, and they have become a monolithic wall protecting Democrats and the most radical cultural views of our nation. I realize many voters don't watch or listen to conservative voices, and they're overwhelmed with the fake news that Republicans sometimes say are a threat to democracy. Of course, Republicans are named a threat to democracy. And these are the voters who are not aware, or maybe they don't care, that the bureaucrats of the establishment of government, especially those at the top of the FBI and Justice Department, are weaponizing their power to intimidate and aggressively and forcefully do things like arrest an 87-year-old concentration camp survivor who's pro-life, protested at an abortion clinic, but they do nothing to punish those who firebomb and vandalize crisis pregnancy centers, which provide real medical services and baby supplies to women and their children. Well, the problem with the less than stellar results of the midterm elections is not that the Democrats opposed our policies. Hey, that's what we can expect them to do. But I realize Republicans were facing a triple threat of the monolithic media, the bully bureaucracy of our own government, and the reliable partnership that they had with the National Democrat Party. They preached that parents speaking out about the abuse of their children were somehow domestic terrorists, and that parents who raised their children to believe in two genders of male and female were racist, fascist, homophobe, transphobe, or bigots. And for some reason, they convinced voters that people who riot and burn their Democrat-run cities are mostly just peaceful protesters, and that to react to that, we ought to defund the police because they're evil and there's no real crime threat in America. But let me be real clear. This is not a time to give up. It is a time to fire up. There's no room for a retreat. It's time for renewal. I would never suggest that we stop voting. In fact, I would urge that we don't stop caring and fighting against evil policies that are destroying America and the hopes that we have for our kids and grandkids. Give up? No way. I say gear up, speak up, sign up, and get up and join the fight for the soul of America. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I hope you will now. The button is just below this video, and there's a little bell next to it. If you click on those, YouTube will reluctantly start letting you know when we've got a new video uploaded.